Hi there, everybody. This is David, and I want to talk about Visions of Mana specifically today. This is the newest entry into the Mana series. It was just announced at the Video Game Awards, and I just can't stop thinking about it. I've loved the Mana series ever since I was a little boy, and I got Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy. Back before I even knew that was Mana, all I knew it was a Final Fantasy game, and it was action combat, and it was a whole lot of fun. Then I got Secret of Mana on the SNES, and I just fell in love. I adore this series. I have loved it for over 30-something years now. Like, ever since I was, even before I was a teenager. Like, I've loved this series. And it always seems like lately, whenever a new game is announced in the Mana series, it's like, oh, okay, it's not, how Secret of Mana is, or how Trials of Mana was, or anything else like that. Maybe it's a turn-based strategy game, or maybe it uses some sort of weird combat physics, or maybe it's real-time strategy, or maybe it's a mobile telephone game, and you're just like, ugh. But Visions of Mana is not like that. It's not like those other ones. This is the real deal. And there's been some new information released about it, and I just want to go over it because I just can't right now. I'm looking at this article from RPG Fan that's also utilizing an article that was put out, or a press release, I should say, that was put out by Square Enix themselves. All we know as far as the release date is concerned, that it's going to be next year. It's going to be 2024, and it's going to be coming out for the PS5, the PS4, the Xbox Series X and S, and the PC via Steam, so you can pretty much get this for whatever system you want. It is, however, lacking coming out on the Switch. More than likely, it will be coming out on the Switch 2, which there's rumors that it's coming out in March, or at least that we will know more in March, or that there will be a release in March, or something about that. That's the latest rumor that I have personally heard. Hush, hush. So, yeah. I probably shouldn't have said anything, but yeah, March for Switch 2. You heard it here first, folks. So, in this, photograph that we have right here, we get to see Flammy, or, at least a mana beast, a mana dragon. Over here, you get to see essentially a sprite. Like, how cool is that? We haven't seen a sprite in a mana game in quite some time. The hero. Then over here, it looks like a little, fox girl. Interestingly enough, this isn't the girl from the very beginning, because that girl had blonde hair. This is a different girl, and she has kind of purplish hair. Then over here, we have, who I can only describe as, the hero from Ni no Kuni 2. He has little cat ears and everything. Reminds me a lot of Nico, the cat merchant. So looking at these characters, you have to wonder, are we going to go from 3-person combat to 4-person combat? Or maybe even 5-person if we count Flammy? In the trailer, you can see Flammy fighting alongside the heroes. So I don't know if Flammy's going to be someone that you can actually count on, or if that is just for that particular boss fight, because it does also seem to be kind of an aerial boss fight. We don't know. Maybe also it's like Trials of Mana. Maybe there are 6 heroes, and maybe you can choose them and put them in and out of your party as you go through. We don't know. And also up here, it almost looks like there's another hero, almost like a little plant-based caterpillar-looking guy or something. We don't know what that is right there. So maybe it is the 6 heroes. The only person who would be missing would be the girl. So let's look down in and talk a little bit more about it. We know that this is not only going to be, it's not going to be an open world game. It's going to be a semi-open world game. It's going to be open region, kind of like a Xenoblade game. And honestly, I like that. I like open region games. Those are my favorite kind. Whenever it's an open world game, to me, it's just a bit overwhelming. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, well, where do I go? I need something to lead me on. I like a little bit of linearity myself. I need something to say, okay, you know what? You need to go here, go to this town, talk to this person, and then move on. I don't like it when it's completely open world, because then I'm like, I don't know where to go. I get very, very overwhelmed. So I like that it's open region, and I can take my time and explore each region one by one. And looking at the trailer and looking at everything else, it seems like each region is going to have its own theme, its own biome, its own geographical theme, whether it's like a snowy land or a desert land or a fiery volcano or jungle land or whatever. So that's really, really neat. I like that. It reminds me a lot of the older games in the Mana series. So here's the overview. It says you take on the role of Val, a curious and carefree young man who lives in the fire village of Tiania. I can't. Once every 4 years, the fairy visits regions of the world to choose alms. The alms are the people who are fated to travel to the Tree of Mana, which presides over the world's vital flow of mana. And Val, not thinking that he's going to get chosen or that she's going to get chosen, he invites his childhood friend to the festival to welcome the visitor of the fairy. But as the night falls, the sky lights up with sparkling lights, and the fairy chooses her, Val's friend, to be the alm. So with the blessings of his village, Val sets out on a journey to accompany his friend to the Tree of Mana as her sole guard. So it's her journey, it's her pilgrimage, kind of like Final Fantasy X, I guess, pilgrimage off to the Mana Tree, and he accompanies her, and then they meet up with other friends along the way. And I just love it. I love how simple it is, how pure it is. It's not overly complex, overwrought, or anything. It doesn't look like it's emo or drama or anything. It's just high fantasy, beautiful, colorful, so nice. Let's read right here what the Mana series producer has to say about it. He says, I am delighted to finally be able to reveal Visions of Mana, the first mainline installment to the Mana series in over 15 years. The development team has been working hard to ensure that Visions of Mana remains faithful to the series that players know and love. Faithful to the series, that means faithful to those first 3 games, yes! While also offering fans and newcomers a fresh experience with all new story, and all new characters, and all new gameplay mechanics. We cannot wait to share more details about the game with you soon. Many people were asking me in the comments, they were like, hey David, this looks like a remake of the first game, is that what this is? No. This is not. This is its own thing. This is its own game. This is a brand new installment. Maybe there will be some little flashbacks here and there to other things or whatever, some references, but this is its own brand new game. Then, as far as the people who are working on it, like, talk about talent, talk about Mana pedigree. The producer has worked with Secret of Mana, Trials of Mana, and Legend of Mana. The person doing the sound worked on the original Secret of Mana back in 1993, not the remake, also Trials of Mana and the Trials of Mana remake and more. Also, they worked on Echoes of Mana. The character designer worked on Adventures of Mana, Secret of Mana, and Trials of Mana. The monster illustrator worked on Dawn of Mana, Children of Mana, and Heroes of Mana. And this is the series monster design supervision is Grezzo Company. And then there's some screenshots here, and I just want to take a moment to look over these screenshots as well. This reminds me of Bucca Island in Trials of Mana, with the volcano off in the distance. They did say that Val was from a fire village, so I believe that this is his home village right there, and you can see the big, like, bonfire right there in the middle that people are kind of gathering around. And that's where right here, you can see the fire and the bonfire and the people there. So that is him and his childhood friend, who is nameless right now. And then this is the fairy choosing her to be the alms to go off to the Mana Tree. I can't even deal with it. This looks like a very, like, jungly area, you know, like prehistoric vibey area, but it's also giving me like Xenoblade vibes with those mountains going in like this and everything. I love it. I adore it. It's just, oh my gosh, I can't get enough. Over here we get more close-ups of the various characters. It looks like we have the sprite over here. We have that kind of cat person, we don't know, little cat swordsman. Maybe it is a merchant, maybe it's like Nico. We got Flammy back there, the hero. We got Val over there. I don't see the little raccoon lady though, and I don't see a raccoon, or a fox, I should say, a little foxtail on the girl. So I think that girl that we saw up top is different from this girl down here on the bottom. Here we have Val fighting the mantis ant, but in the background, again, Flammy. Flammy's there in the background, fighting as well, and this is not aerial combat. So is Flammy the Mana Beast with you the entire time fighting? And also, over here, you can see Val is using magic. He is summoning Salamando. Now, traditionally, the Mantis Ant in the Mana series is one of the very first bosses that you fight, and considering that Vol is from the Fire Village, I would imagine this may be the first boss that you go to, or the boss immediately after gaining magical spells. Also in the trailer, so you can see him using Salamando offensively here, but in the trailer, there is some times where he's using Sylphid and he's like flying up through the air, or he's using Undine and he's swimming through the ocean. So you can use them in multiple different ways, a traversal spell as well as like an offensive spell right there. Here he's just fighting the Rabbites. You know, you can't have a mana game without the Rabbites. I just love it. I just love it. And there they are, going off again with her blonde hair, not this purple hair that we saw up here. That hair is definitely different right there. And I don't see that tail, and I don't see, like the dress looks a lot long. Her dress looks a lot longer, so this is definitely a different character. And then the girl isn't in this picture for whatever reason. But I just wanted to go over everything that we know so far of Visions of Mana. This is pretty much it. We don't have a firm release date, we don't have anything else like that, but we do have speculation. And that's so much fun to look at what's out there and to just kind of speculate and think and really examine what's out there. So let me know what y'all think about Visions of Mana. Let me know what you're excited for. Let me know if you have any further information about this, any other different speculations that you might have on who these characters are or how the battle system's going to work out. I'm guessing 6 characters total, but 3 in combat. That's my guess, because that just screams Mana to me. But yeah, I am loving this, like, super anticipated game of next year. Anyway, y'all, have a good day.